I still didn't do something right.
Are we live?
We're supposed to be, and you're eating. You're eating. I don't know. Hank, we're gonna start over. April Fools, we're all here and it's good.
I'm not really eating or nothing.
No, except Jordan's not really here in a bikini. She's not really here. She's inside.
She's inside the house in a bikini.
Billy offered to be in the bikini.
I was gonna do it, but
And
majority rules said no, I can't.
yeah,
So you're welcome.
Yeah, we voted that out.
I'm gonna take my shirt off.
Anyway, so yeah, here we are, really live this time, and really live. I'm gonna point. I always look at the.
I look at the
screen instead of the camera.
We need that like right there. Like
yeah.
I don't know.
We're not professionals at this.
We're.
We're.
Well,
someday we're gonna be.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Tune in next week to see if we become professionals or not.
Yeah, next week we're gonna have this down for sure.
Yeah, we will definitely be better at it next week. We'll learn something.
You will. I'll be here though. You'll tell me what you learn. I'll go, hell yeah. Right?
Luke Robinson, hey guys, Bradley Bush. I almost forgot to, but I'm here.
Thank you.
And I thought Billy was. See, Billy was supposed to be in a bikini.
Yeah. Wow.
And the door stopped working on Jordan again.
Jesus Christ.
I guess she's camera shy today.
Yeah. Where's the bikini?
She's not. Anyway.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Can't find good help these days. You know?
No.
You just can't. You know, we need a drink girl. She brings the drinks, but she doesn't wear her uniform. Right? Work clothes.
We discussed that earlier. The chances of her even knowing where that is pretty slim.
That's true. We're coming out of winter time, so you know.
You've rode in her car.
Yeah, you might find part of it, but the other parts, there's no telling where that thing's at.
That's what she gets for not being right here to defend herself.
Right.
But, we didn't do any racing this weekend.
We didn't. No racing.
No racing. Not even the belt sander races.
We tried. We went there.
Yeah, we went. They were having. Well, they were not having belt sander races. We went to the place where they race belt sanders at.
Yeah, but a week away.
Yeah,
that's what we was. They do it every other week, and we were right in between them.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, we had like 50-50 shot of hitting. No, didn't do it.
No. I'm going back down there on the week they're doing it, and I'm going to go live, or we're going to do something because that's such a cool little deal there.
Yeah.
I've been there once and seen it, and I didn't know belt sanders could go that damn fast. They're taking it serious. There's people rolling up with enclosed trailers full of belt sanders.
Well, it looked like they had, like the wind lights and all that, and then at the very end, they go uphill. And then there's these big old soft cushions that they can hit if they don't stop in time, I guess is what.
Yeah. They I guess it's just to slow them down to keep them going into the neighbor's house or something.
Yeah.
What's Paul saying? Yo, it's PNN. Yeah, old Paul, but he goes to more races than anybody I know. Every day he's somewhere different.
Yeah.
I think I've been at 2 or 3 different races where he was at, and we just couldn't get in the same spot to say hi or whatever. But he was at Boot Hill when we were there a few weeks ago with late models. Right. Paul, where do you live at? Aren't you like Florida or something like that? Way the hell off. Not in Louisiana, I'll tell you that. He drove a ways.
And he makes it. That's cool.
Oh yeah, he's everywhere. Big front wheel drive guy. So he does some promotion on some races. I think he does some announcing, and
he's a front wheel drive guy, and he still likes you. That must be a hell of a guy. Because
yeah,
as much hell as you give him.
Well, he gets it. He knows I'm just fucking around.
Yeah.
Florida. That's what I was thinking. I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, he's in Florida. I just know you're always in Florida, so that doesn't. You're always somewhere, so I don't know. But I mean, we raced a bunch in Louisiana, and we're not in Louisiana, so
Yeah.
I just never know.
Well, I started to say I haven't, but yeah, I did. We were on the Solo 275. That was in Louisiana.
Yeah,
That was my first Louisiana race.
not far. You could if you pulled out of the parking lot of that place, you're in
Yeah.
Texas. So,
Yeah.
but and same with Boot Hill. Boot Hill's only like
Yeah, it's
15 minutes from or 20 minutes where it is from the kind of state line. But yeah, I don't know. We need to get some racing going on though around here. Your car don't even have a body on it right now.
no. My car's. When I was little, they used to sell these crash up derby cars.
Yeah.
And when you hit the bumper, it like triggered something, and all the parts would spring off of it. That's what it looks like right now.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get. It didn't necessarily need all that body taken off, but I wanted to wash it really good because the track was heavy at times down there at the Solo. And the other thing is, I just needed to look everything. I had a couple simple mistakes that cost me on the Solo, and I'm like, when I go back together with it this time, I'm like, those are going to be taken care of.
So just don't put the body on until it's took care of.
Yeah, and I bought not even that I needed it, but I just been leery of the little cheap oil cooler I put on the power steering. So I bought a nicer oil cooler on Amazon with some number 6 fittings on it. I'm going to get a hold of Comprehensive Industrial as soon as I get my measurements and have him make me a new pressure side line, because the pressure side one was the one that blew. And from, and it was one of the steel braided ones from I won't mention them by name, but our local dealer that we have near us in Tyler.
Yeah.
And, stock pump, and it ruptured that. So I'm going to get a hold of Dustin, is it?
Yeah.
And
Dustin Randall. He's got 2 first names.
Yeah. And get
like Ricky Bobby.
Just when I get it measured out, all number 6 fittings, one good pressure line, and the other ones can be good too. I don't care that they're not under pressure that much.
Yeah.
They're traveling pretty far for me every turn line, so they may get some pressure by the end of it. But anyway, all that's going to be. There's just some kind of things that I've been wanting to do, and I'm like, you know what? Now is a good time to do it.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's probably what I need to do to my stuff, but I doubt I will. I'll probably just wing it and hope for the best on the next one.
Yeah.
That's how I usually do stuff. I usually wait to unload the car until the day before I go racing.
Well, apparently I take mine to Highway 19 to shake the bugs out of it, and I get it right to the edge of everything, break it.
You picking up bugs there?
Yeah. I pick it. I wear everything right to the edge of breaking, and then when I take it to the long race, it doesn't last. But
Paul said that he's been to Boot Hill but never been to Texas. You need to come to the Super Tech 600 in October.
Yes,
it would blow your mind. I think you'd love it just because of the atmosphere there, man. You walking through the pits there, it's not like a normal race. It's pretty. What the hell you got going on?
Well,
was it detective or whatever the hell that thing is? What's that?
Well, I was just, because we were talking about that, I reached out to the Jackson James guy with the band today, and I'm like, hey, I kind of explained the situation. I'm like, would you like to get your name on the car? And won't cost you any money, but maybe you can do. We've done benefits before, where we charge. We got people to sponsor like a food trailer, and I got a food trailer in mind. But before we go to the 600, we may do something like that.
Yeah,
and we can do it here. We can do it at your place, whatever.
Yeah.
But I told him maybe you can play that for us, and then we'll talk to Brad, and if Brad will let him in the pits and set up at our pit or wherever we can get electric for him.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd be interested in that. Well, I messaged him on TikTok because I have 60,000 followers there, and that's my most I look more official with all those followers.
Yeah.
And he did. He messaged me back and said, "Here's my phone number. Get with me, and we'll work something out." So that's what I was just checking, because I hadn't checked to see if he replied.
Oh yeah.
So we may have us a.
Well, that would be cool, because man, when we seen him play, that was badass.
Yeah,
that was badass. That's what I like about big races, when you can bring in some stuff, multi-day stuff. I know I like hanging out at the track afterwards. I don't know about anybody else, but I enjoy it. I want to. We do some beer drinking in my pits.
Yeah, beer, whiskey.
Dr.
It was
Pepper.
yeah, Gatorades for me on those.
Yeah.
But one of these days.
Yeah, we tend to do a little bit of partying after the races, and I guess people have caught on to that. It seems like every time we end up with a pretty good crowd.
Yeah. So I don't drink there, but I bring drinkers with me so that it's all done. I got Stacy. She comes and drinks.
Yeah.
Last year, Logan drank more than
he
his
couldn't even
fair
open
share.
his eyes.
Logan's my son, and I can't remember what he was telling me, but he just kept repeating it over and over, and I'm like, right on,
Yeah,
son,
because
right,
you wasn't the only one.
right on, son.
You wasn't the only one.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed, son. Oh, locked in. He was locked in. We're locked in. Everything. He was locked in with everything.
Yeah, everything was locked
in. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm about to lock into bed.
Yeah, I'm about to lock you out of the camper, dude.
Yeah, my Skinny was there. My buddy Skinny was Skinny's Automotive, and I just know that like Skinny's going to take care of him no matter what.
He laughed at him the whole time.
I tried to get Billy too dancing a little bit, and I put my 360 camera on the wrong setting somehow. I must have long pressed instead of just, so we missed that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have shown it anyway, but I might held it over his head for something.
Yeah,
I got that video.
Yeah. Oh, he would be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, you need to make it, Paul, to one of the bigger races, and
there's a bunch of really big races. Matter of fact, if you wanted to come back to Boot Hill, they got that 30,000 to win for factory stocks coming up. I guess it's next month now, in May. Yeah, a month away. It's a month away. I plan on selling merch there.
Unfortunately, since I didn't win the 275, I didn't get to buy an engine for mine, and so we're probably not going to make it with. But
well, I know my car isn't fast enough to win $30,000, so I'm not gonna run it. But I will be there with merch with the Addicted to Dirt guys.
Well, mine probably wouldn't be fast enough either, but I mean, there's a little something that goes in saying, hey, I'm racing for 30 grand.
Well, it's like playing the lottery. You can't win if you don't play.
I mean, I don't know if
I just know that I have a better chance of actually leaving there with some money if I sell merch instead of race.
If Jesse don't want to race, I may talk him into borrowing his car or something. I think all I'd have to do is mention that to your dad. Because your dad just loves going racing. Like he loves it. Just be like, hey man, if nobody's going to drive it, I'll hop in that deal and we'll
I hope that blue 55's there because the car is getting faster, and I know we hadn't really proven itself to be running $30,000 just because we keep having problems. But if we can get the transmission stuff lined out,
right?
I think it's going to be a fast car.
And I have two here, and I have one up north waiting on me. The guy called me this morning, and he's like, "You remember Skinny sent out that transmission and some gauges and some other stuff?" And I'm like, "I kind of had forgot about that." So, but it's a nice one. It's been machined for the long yoke and all that, which you probably don't need in factory stock. Yeah. But I mean, it's been rebuilt and put together. Right. So if we need to get that one for him, we'll get it.
I think Dad said that we have one or two or something. And I know I got a bell housing. I think we just got to get a clutch and whatever else set up there.
I have a bell housing also. So
old Brad, what's up, Brad?
John says, "How are you guys tonight?" Yeah. We're good.
We're good.
We are.
That's crazy. Your last name's the same as your first.
we're glad to be with y'all.
Like Williams.
Right. Yeah.
But, I'm with it though. That's cool. What's up there, Keith? Man, hopefully I can race sometime between now and before I leave for Australia.
So Paul is Paul's from Florida. Where's everybody else from?
Yeah,
you guys let us know where most of
these guys are from. But yeah, if you're on here, let us know where you're from. Let us know what you're doing. Did you get rained out this past weekend? I think everywhere but one track in Texas got rained out over the weekend. And that was our local guys, our local track here, Highway 19. They pushed through and made it happen. Had a good turnout, and that was good for them.
Yeah, they said it got a little rough down in turns 3 and 4, but he kind of got on there.
I don't know how rough it is, but I guarantee Lone Star last year was rougher.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, They do a really good. That track is Highway 19 is generally nice and smooth, and
Yeah.
when it's rough, it's usually not that rough. It's just it's rough because
He's particular about it.
you're used to it being so nice, and
Yeah.
so when it gets rough, you're like, man, the track's rough tonight. You go to other places, that's probably an average night sometimes.
Yeah.
I saw Bakersfield Speedway ran, and it got pretty rough. Also, I know they've been having some rain, and my buddy Billy Simpkins, his daughter Sonny, broke a lower ball joint in both the heat race and the main.
Oh shit, the same one.
Yep. And so they figure there's some kind of issue there beyond it just
Something
being
binding
rough.
up there, yeah.
But she went from, of course, she DNF'd her heat, so she started at the back of the main of a pretty good field and was in second when it broke again in the main.
Damn.
So she was having a really good run.
Yeah, it sounds like they got it rolling pretty good.
So I'm trying to get. Christina says, "Hello, guys. Hi, Christina."
Brad's watching us in the dark side of the ring, and he's also from his dad's balls. And then here's my mom. Billy's from me.
Well,
yeah.
That nice to know where everybody's from.
Yeah, starting to get weird now.
Tanya, don't send pictures of Billy's where he's home.
Yeah, please don't. You either, Brad. Yeah, please, no pictures from locations, of origin.
This weekend, you guys made me think now this is probably not a good idea. This weekend, we talked about having koozies made with a barcode on the back.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out the logistics, I usually kind of handle that kind of the deal. Billy's the star. I handle a little more of this other stuff, but
that's still debatable. On the star thing,
we want to.
You definitely handle all the stuff.
We want the bench racing logo, and we're going to put that on one side, and we want to put a QR code on the other, so that you can scan that and send us a picture of where you're drinking, who you're drinking with, whatever.
That'll be cool. Aside from people like Brad, they're going to send pictures of
Brad and Tanya
buttholes or something. Your mom too, probably. But some. I think that would be cool, and we could have a segment. You send us some pictures of where you're drinking at. You got to be beer, whatever.
We'll make a little
whatever you're doing. Scan it. Send us a picture of the koozie with whatever you're doing. We'll post it on. We'll post it on here during the live. We'll have a little segment for it.
Definitely, and so we'll. We want to do that. We're going to figure out the logistics of it here pretty soon. I don't know if we'll have it next week, maybe the week after. Yeah. And we want to give them for free. Again, I'm not sure how we'll probably have to pay for shipping and maybe put a limit on them so somebody doesn't want 20 of them for free or something. But
yeah.
I don't know. But we're going to figure out. We'll work through that.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Yeah, we definitely want to try doing something like that to get everybody a little more involved. Mitch said he's watching the Iowa dirt racing world, or watching for the Iowa dirt racing world. A lot of folks from Iowa up there do some racing. Yeah, I've never been up there. Brad said, "How did Mick Foley get such a hot wife?" Dude, you know how much wrestlers get paid? Ramon, what's up, man?
I forget we do have this thing too.
Oh yeah, some of our Australian friends over there. You coming back for the 600 this year? I know you were talking about getting an RV.
It's nearly 100 lapper time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
speaking of.
Yeah.
You have new merch.
I have new Australia merch. So a lot of people from Australia has been asking me, and my merch, people, is only in the U.S., right? These people, my Lone Star Apparel, they only do stuff in the U.S. And of course, we got a lot of people in Australia that follow along and have been asking me for stuff. So Highline Racewear has hooked me up with a store, and you can buy literally everything on there. I was scrolling through, I was like, Jesus, that's like you get underwear with my logo on it.
Hell yeah!
And just all kinds of stuff. I've got new shirts coming in that's gonna be just for over there with the car and stuff. Events, me coming over strap shirt, with the car on it and things like that. That's in the works, and I'm excited about it because I like everybody over there in Australia, and they seem like me, and they seem to like buying merch. So if you're in Australia, head over to the Highline Racewear and look for me. I got links posted on the page there. It's in one of the
And
comments. I got a video with it with the comment and
yeah,
stuff.
and if you're seeing this on YouTube on the rerun of it I'll get your link and put
Okay.
it down in the
Hell yeah.
description
Perfect.
too. That
Perfect.
way they can click right on that.
Yeah.
And so, and I know we're getting behind on comments, which is like awesome. Thank you all for commenting so much. Bradley says he missed it because he's drinking. Basically, I'm gonna paraphrase for that.
What a piece of shit.
What's up? 100K to win soon. Where at, Kyle? And used to have some thong underwear with my street stock. That's the story that I was going to tell. Was not his. I know you've heard it.
They used to have his underwear,
but I had some thin women panties made up one time with the 72 number 72 and the horseshoe and stuff I had on it, and that was one of my favorite things. I never sold a pair, if you can imagine that, but people would have on big races. It was common to have a drive where on lap 10 or whatever you get a certain prize. Well, I donated that to certain laps or second place, whatever, and I would tie them to people's antennas on 2-day shows, like they'd be in their camper, wake up, and they'd have them flying from an antenna.
That's where Brad got that. That's where Brad got his, I think.
And my favorite, but my favorite thing was just to give them to other drivers' girlfriends or wives. I'm just like, you got to wear them, because I always thought that would be great. They get undressed and have a pair of my panties on. And, I'm like, so.
Brad sent us a site to get more made.
CafePress.com. Right on.
Yeah. Well,
we'll have to look at that. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, should we talk about a sponsor or something?
Yeah,
maybe?
Let's bring out one of the sponsors. We talked about them earlier. Comprehensive Motorsports. They're out of Shreveport area in Louisiana. They got everything. They have a website. You don't even have to be around there. They're sponsoring some sprint car. It's a girl driving it, and I can't think of her name right now, but they push them a lot, and I think they got their own house car coming too. What it looked like. I hadn't talked to Dustin recently about it, but yeah, if you're in the Shreveport area and you need some race car parts, or if you're anywhere, because they got the website, they can send it to you. And they got some pretty damn good deals on stuff.
They have this new thing in America. It's called shipping, and we can ship now.
Well, it's sometimes I forget about that.
It's not even on a mule anymore or anything.
Well, as somebody that lives far enough in the woods, you can't even get DoorDash to,
right?
Or things like that. I've never had no food delivered to my house, so sometimes I forget that people can,
Although I find even shipping my stuff that the Racer or Horse Network is usually more reliable. If you can find 2 or 3 people headed your way. I used to have a lot
on a horse.
Not hauling horses at
horseback.
Least. Yeah,
it's going to take 2 weeks to get there.
But yeah, if you find somebody hauling race cars or hauling horses, usually they'll get it there better than.
Usually, I'm just hauling ass.
Yeah, it's usually stuff like that's damaged. But anyway, as I said, I'm going to be calling them, and maybe I can just get them sent over to Boot Hill. My hoses that I need or something, we'll pick them up there.
Pick up your hose at Shreveport.
Get all your hose.
They got them over there.
But that's that. Then we have the All Tex Dirt Services.
Oh yeah.
And somewhere
I seen him doing some work today. I helped transplant an oak tree with him, and then he cleared off a bunch of other stuff. So, dude could just do anything.
Yeah.
You need something to get it, and you're in the East Texas area. You need some kind of dirt work. I think he's supposed to be
tree work.
Or tree work. Fucking Dirt. If it's got dirt involved, he's got you.
I saw a picture of him chained off to a tree, trying to keep it from falling on the house.
So I got home and he was chained off to the race car, pulling the frame over with the backhoe. So he can do just about anything. With
All-Tex frame services.
Yeah, All-Tex mobile frame machine.
Give him a call.
Yeah.
So I uploaded this video. Oh, we got a bunch of comments. Yeah, we got a bunch of comments over here. Let's catch up on that. Yeah. We got Christina laughing. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Just scroll. Stacy Taylor needs a pair of them. I think she's talking about those panties. Maybe we'll make some. I don't know. Well, she doesn't need a pair of them. I'm not going to tell you why over the. Anyway. There's not a whole lot of underwear on our end of the house. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You
got to get skid marks out of jeans.
Yeah. We just we don't waste our money on that shit.
Brad said the logo needs to be bigger. He misses the big logo.
Oh, okay. We just had the Nippy 50 race here in Iowa. Bobby Pierce won that. Anyone coming past Australia?
Yeah.
Megan and James Brown. Hey, and James, since you're on here, I want to thank you again for sending that power steering can over.
Yeah, that canister.
It was a nice, like that one I had was cheap. The one that James sent over was very nice. It's like very well built, especially compared to that other one.
Yeah.
And so thank you for that. This is what he's talking about right here. Right.
Hey, yeah.
We still got it.
Yeah, we still got it.
Anyway, here YouTube is great sometimes not. I got just 30 seconds or so of this clip I run across. There's a California Raceway videos, Jeffrey something. I'll credit him on the rewind too because I stole it off of him.
Yeah.
But here's a quick video of me almost 30 years ago when I first started racing.
Word with Big Lee. Lee, how you doing, my man?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Looking real good last week up in Bakersfield.
I think so, but we can't hear it.
Qualified out that heat race.
It
so then what happened? The track went away from us, and
anyway, that's me.
Didn't have it adjusted just right.
29 years ago.
That don't look like you, dude.
Right.
I don't know if you know that. If you told me that, I'd go, that kind of sounds like Lee.
Right. Kind of. Well,
he's got the same name and everything.
Yeah.
You were wearing a black shirt though,
and they called me Big Lee then, and he had a lot of foresight at that time because I wasn't big.
Yeah, but he was getting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're not no more.
Yeah, I
regular size Lee. That's what they call you now.
Just Lee. Just Lee is all.
They still call me Little Billy around my family.
We mentioned Skinny earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I call you're Billy and your dad is Billy too, which works for Billy the Second or Billy also.
Yeah,
and either one. So I just call him Billy too. And
yeah,
we've got Skinny's Automotive always helping us out. I've been meaning to call him all week. Maybe we'll get a call from him after because a lot of times he calls us after and updates us on what he thought of the show.
Call us Skinny.
Yeah, and I'm horrible about calling people. So
I am too.
But anyway,
definitely calling people back.
If you're out in Bakersfield, California, Kern County, California, and you need some automotive work done, call Skinny. If you're hungry, call Skinny.
You just need to hang out.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good guy to hang out with.
Yeah, have a beer. Now, his Bloody Marys in the morning.
Yeah.
Are pretty awesome, but sometimes I have to tell him, Skinny, this is my first drink of the day.
Yeah.
Easy on the vodka.
Yeah.
Because he will, they taste good, but he will load one. If you want to be hammered, if you wake up at 9 and want to be hammered by 10:30, tell him make you a strong Bloody Mary. And if you want it to last till 11:30, just let him make you a Bloody Mary. If you want to be able to function throughout the day, you got to be like, man, go light on the vodka for me.
Just give me a V8.
Yeah. But he makes Great Bloody Marys.
Hell
Also, good guy. He's just a good guy all around.
We got 4 more comments
Oh
already.
gosh, we should be able to split them into separate.
I don't know.
I say,
new,
oh God.
new program. We don't know where we're going.
James says, "You're welcome, bud, anytime." So tracks were going away from everyone back then. Yeah, exact. That was our. That was just our what we said. Anytime we made a mistake, what happened? The track went away. Just blame it on the racetrack. You know, that definitely just a part of.
So they couldn't hear us when the video was playing.
Oh,
at least Brad. Oh, Brad couldn't because he was in the bar. What an ass. Right now it sounds stupid. Even more so than usual.
So we showed my video. We talked about the koozies. 30,000 to win. We kind of touched on that.
Yeah. Factory stocks, Boot Hill.
Boot Hill.
That's what first weekend of May.
Yeah.
Free advertisement for them there. That's a lot of money that's the most ever for factory stocks.
Right.
Anywhere around here for sure. I know I went to the Little Dream at Rice Lake a few years ago, and it's their street stocks, which is a lot like our factory stocks here. And that's a crowd-funded race. And they put up however much, and then the whole time they're working the crowd. And I think it ended up being like 29,000 on like a Tuesday. You know what I mean? It was like a Tuesday show. That's one day deal, no support classes. It was badass, some badass racing. We drank a lot of beer. So
somebody that I know posted.
Jesse's on here watching.
Nice.
Yeah,
he's over there on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, Bradley's on YouTube also.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, Brad, he's trying to downplay my Lone Stars. I know I'm not drinking them right now, but Shiner is good. And you have not had a Lone Star, so don't be running your mouth, Brad.
So
Bradley.
Chris said you're taking it home in the gray big body.
Oh yeah,
30 grand,
dude. If that motor is still good after Gene Boyer drove it, I would probably make some laps.
We started
just for the fun of it.
We started side by side. I'll look on my 360 camera. I think he drove away from me,
but he passed me just like everybody else did. So I don't know if he was fast or not. I just know I wasn't.
I was trying to take it easy, but that was not the way to go either on that race. But anyway,
they said it broke and he drove off the track or whatever, and then just got out and went home because he lives right next to the track. And then Chris is like, I gotta go find my car. I don't even know where my car is at.
He had parked it by the fence, stretched the wires open, stepped through. I'm out. I'm gone. Yeah.
Jesse.
Oh yeah, Jesse's having a baby tomorrow.
Not personally, but Kayla is.
Yeah.
Jesse was a part of making it for sure.
Right.
But early in the morning. I think they got to be at the hospital at like 5 or something. I was like, oh man, I'd have to put that off if that was me. I was like, we can't wait till about noon 30.
Kayla, you're gonna have to hold it a little bit.
Yeah, you've been pregnant for 9 months. You're trying to rush it that much in the morning. Yeah, you're trying to make this baby a baby morning kid. But yeah, so we're excited about that. I know I am. I'm going to be an uncle again, which means absolutely no effort in me having to deal with a kid.
Uncle Bill again.
Uncle Bill. I've got 2 nephews, and now I have a niece. Oh wait, and I got another niece actually. Yeah, because Cameron's got a son and a daughter. I forgot about that for some reason. But so 4 times the uncle.
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
You're a good uncle too. You go.
Oh well.
With Blaze at least.
I was chasing him today, and he fucking fell and hit his nose, so I felt bad about it. But what's up from Wisconsin? Yeah, man. We were just talking about up there at Rice Lake. I need to go back up there. I hope I can make it up there this year for that race. Mom's ready. I know Mom's ready for the baby. She called me just a little bit ago before we went live. But yeah, man. Jesse, it's kind of. I mean, we're not gonna go to Fred Lobster, I guess, but you know, that's what's funny is when Blaze was born, it was like the next day or whatever. It seemed like we was at Fred Lobster. Jesse showed up to race with us.
Yeah, I still keep my eye out for a Fred Lobster car, but my problem right now, I think, is just that I have the enduro car that's needs some work. We have the factory stock that we want to build, and I need to somebody needs to just drop off a Fred Lobster car for me for it to be done.
I've got way too much stuff. Yeah, Jesse said Blaze's nose looks broke. But
it's a good job.
Yeah, thanks. Look, I asked him if he was okay, and he said, "Yeah." So that's all I needed to know.
I'm okay, Uncle Bill.
Yeah. He won't do it again.
Right?
Run from me.
Just give him another puppy and he'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve said, "Start drinking, dude." After this weekend, I really didn't want to drink these, but here we are.
I was wondering if you would even. Yeah.
Saturday, I had several.
Your buddy Ty Dietz he's bang up.
I told y'all, Ty's the man.
He sang a lot of songs I'd never heard before, and but that's cool, and he did good with them, and you enjoy them, and you have that beach vibe,
That's like a local place too.
Yeah.
So it's all. We might have been the only out of towners there, other than the guy with the tambourine.
And they're requesting songs from him that they know
and
that he's wrote, like they're originals that he's written, and they know them, and they're requesting. And it was great.
Yeah. What did he say?
This is Stevie-O from Modern Racing.
Oh, right on.
He got up screaming, Adrian.
Poor Blaze is gonna have a fucking Stevie Ray Vaughan nose the rest of his life. Fucking, yeah. Fucking, yeah, man. Yeah. So, Steve, are y'all racing up there yet? Y'all got any racing going on in Wisconsin? I know I got some friends up there that way, and they've been saying it was like cold as shit still, but I don't know when racing season starts. Our racing season ends just long enough to have Christmas.
Yeah.
And then it starts back up in January at some places. So we're fortunate in that, but also it kind of don't give you time to get your shit together, which I normally just I'm in and out throughout the season because I'm poor.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've had 53 years to get my shit together, and it's not happening.
Yeah, you had a pretty good break there for a while, and you still no. You still had like 2 DNFs in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I don't. What am I going to say? What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Fuck, I don't know. Damn beers.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I don't have beer, but
You don't have water. Coors Light. Yeah. I'm ready to get Jared's car back rolling. I need to bring it over here so we can do that firewall.
Yep.
We can run aftermarket firewall on our factory stocks, and that car it needs a little more room there. So we'll get that. We'll need to do that and change some other stuff on it before I race it again.
I mean, the longer you wait, because I think the material I have is 16 gauge and 18 gauge is legal, but it's sitting outside. So the longer you wait, it's getting the rust, it's getting lighter and lighter as you wait. And then
I'll just grind it down and check it and just keep checking it.
We just buff it off, primer it when it gets to the right thickness, and you'll be good on that.
This is what we'll do is we'll use the 16 gauge on the sides, and then right in the middle we'll use some like 20 gauge and make it real thin. And then weld the two together. That way, if they check it on the side edges,
right? Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna have to delete this part of the podcast here.
No, never.
That car needs all the help it can get at this point. I mean, it's a good car,
right?
But you're racing. It's racing against cars that are $30,000-$40,000 cars.
Yeah.
Or even a $20,000 car.
Yeah, whatever that one that you did the body on, that thing was super nice.
That's a $30,000 car.
Yeah, it was super nice, and I mean, you did a great job on the body. It looked awesome, but it looked
he's
awesome
ran it at least
before you
once.
had the body on it.
Yeah, I know he's ran it at least once, and he said nothing fell off. I was like, hell yeah! But tell you something while we're talking about racing and stuff, because that's what we do here. Is our Australia, I need some help. Not just sponsor wise. I've got a little ad out there for the sponsors and stuff. But help get there and make that happen, and uh, help Donna's out with just getting tires, getting fuel,
Right.
things like that. Of course. But one thing I got to get is a one-piece race suit, the double layered stuff, because over there it's that's a rule, right? And my suit is a two-piece. So if anybody out there is like a suit dealer, something like that, and you want to, we'll put your name all on it. All that stuff. And I know I'll be in Australia. A lot of places don't deal with anybody in Australia, but I will be YouTubing the shit out of this stuff and posting a bunch of pictures online. I'm gonna try to like vlog it or blog it or whatever.
Yeah.
The whole event. We had the Billy Down Under last year for it. Unfortunately, Race On It isn't going to be back this year with me, but I'm still going to video everything. So I'll make sure to give you all the credit you deserve if you help me out.
Did you get the video on TikTok I sent you that they had a couple kangaroos at the cattle sale?
No.
I sent it. I forwarded a video over. Like in Cleburne, Texas. That's fairly close to here, isn't it? They had two kangaroos come through the cow sale, and somebody put it on TikTok. And I'm like, I sent it to Billy. I'm like, dude, you can have some kangaroos over here.
Well, there's a place in Grapeland which is like 40 minutes from the house, and it was a drive-through zoo, and they ended up selling their kangaroos the other day or a couple weeks ago. I seen it on Marketplace.
Man, maybe that's where
that might have been where they went.
Yeah, because
yeah,
but you have some kangaroos to practice boxing with.
Yeah. Derek said you almost pulled it off of Buffalo with it. Yeah, I got spun out leading it, but I've led that twice. I was leading last year, and the guy passing me cut my left front, so that kind of sucked. But I will win at Buffalo Creek and Factory Stocks with Jared's car. I can bet you that. I'm planning on it.
Bradley says he can get it better than the $30,000 car in one weekend.
Well, come on down, dude.
He said he's going to bring a couple grinders right there. Yeah. We're documenting.
You better bring a couple. You better bring a couple $100 bills too, because the thing needs more than that. But
Steve Hoffman says we'll start next Friday at Red Cedar Speedway, Friday night.
Hell yeah! I've only been to Rice Lake and Cedar Lake up there. They have a lot of lakes.
I said the land of lakes, but it's Hoffmeister.
Land of a million lakes or whatever they call it. And cheese. They got a lot of cheese.
And Chris is not happy with Race On. So anyway.
Well.
Steve Hoffmeister sharing.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah.
Because sharing is caring.
Yeah, sharing's caring. That helps us out get views. We don't make no money on this deal, but we if you send stars, we do. And it's not like it's much of money for stars neither.
No.
But
every little bit helps, and one day we'll be famous.
Yeah, one day.
And you
watch out, Joe Rogan.
You can be one of the people that say, I've been with them from the start.
Yeah, I remember commenting on there. They told me to go fuck myself. But yeah, man. I'm planning on going back to Wisconsin at some point. I was going to earlier this year, last month, or I guess February or whenever it was, and do some ice racing, but just didn't work out. Hey, yeah, big old screens. Hey. Our good buddy Owen Pittman down there in South Texas, he's got the big old screens, and he takes that thing everywhere. He went all the way to Florida to Clash the Coast with that thing. And I've seen it at several races, and man, that thing just puts on, just makes it's not a show without Big O, as he says. And
right.
If you're holding any kind of event, whether it's concert or he did a Menudo cook-off and concert the other day, he does parties where you're talking about screen. I forget how long it is. I'd have to ask him again, but it's like. He's got to have a CDL to pull it. It's the biggest damn screen I've ever seen. It's like the size of that one at whatever the hell that big ass football field is. The Dallas Cowboys is called, but
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's
and it's mobile.
And it's mobile. Yeah, I think he was going to do a golfing event where he's just videoing it and it's broadcasting straight to it. Just such a badass deal, and he helps me out a ton. Just a super good guy. He also has 317 awards, and I know you make plenty of trophies yourself. He makes some really badass ones too out of the Lexan and stuff. He's got that laser cutter, and makes some really really neat stuff.
And and I'm not somebody that I even talked to Brad about the 600 a little bit.
Yeah,
and I'm like, hey, if I don't know if you have anybody. If you have somebody, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. There's room. Yeah. There's room for me to make a good living and everybody to make a good living. I'm like,
yeah.
I have a local guy over here that does fabrication and stuff, and he does just a little heavier stuff than what I do, and want to get. I don't have an oxygen acetylene torch in here, and there's a reason for it. And it's because I don't want to do that kind of work. I just don't want to do that big work. I really like doing working with new metal and doing the thin stuff and whatever. But I get calls for stuff, and I'll send them right over to him, and he comes to me and he'll bring me a piece of metal. And if it's something I can just cut out for him and send him on his way, I'm glad to do that. There's enough room for everybody. So like you say, trophies and whatever, not everybody's going to like my style of what I do. And that's
right.
There's just room for everybody. And I'm willing to work together on stuff also. It's,
I mean, that makes you a good businessman too, and I'm sure he sends people your way for stuff,
Definitely.
Trying to see here, I'm just checking some stuff out, see if we got any extra comments on something before we keep going. But yeah, man, I've got other people that sell shirts, like our buddies Addicted to Dirt. They sell shirts and stuff too. And I'll advertise for them all day. We got their hats on right now,
right? And we got them.
I don't have hats this cool,
right?
I love these hats. They're comfortable.
I got to talk to him. I sent you the design I'm working on my shirt, and it's basically like AI did a lot of it, and I moved things around, whatever. I thought it's pretty cool by the end, and I don't know what like Mike's vision exactly is, but as a friend, I'm going to offer for him to make them first out of their camp.
Yeah.
And if he says no, I'll be like, that's fine. I'm not upset about it one bit. And
I'm big on using friends for stuff.
Yeah.
Or not using them, but you're using their business.
Right. Yeah,
if they got a business for it, let's use it. Let's go. Let's talk to them. I don't like asking for a discount. I'm not that type of guy because I've had my own business. And they're like, well, how much would it cost me? I can double now since you said it like that.
Right. Yeah.
But
and it's so crazy in business because if it's the people that I feel normally are most deserving of a break that are really good friends of mine, and like they'll be like, hey, okay, what do I owe you for that? And I'll just be like, whatever, $100.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, that's not enough. And they'll send me more.
Yeah.
And then like you got some dickweed asshole friend that's half-assed knows you and whatever and never tried to help you in their life. And they're like, man, don't I get a friend deal on this or what? And it's like, no, man, it's no.
I'm all about doing some horse trading and, and swapping. Hey, I'll do this. And if you help me out, because I can't afford that. It's not like it's a wrong price. It's just out of my budget.
Yeah.
But if we do some work and, some trading out here. And I do that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I love doing that kind of stuff. And that usually helps everybody out at that point.
I fix people's boat and trade them for filleted crappie. That
I make tacos over here for you welding on a taco truck.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm not against the barter system at all. They don't tax the barter system.
Guess what you was going to do with that money? Buy some food.
Right. Yeah, I was going to buy food with it anyway. So if you want to bring me a bunch of tacos, I'm down with that. And it helped him and it helps us.
Jordan, yeah, that's a funny April Fool's joke. Yeah. You've already spewed beer on me before.
Right.
And then
spewing beer is nothing new.
Yeah, they go, oh, no, I didn't do that on purpose. Yeah, or shit.
I think it was on film of her shaking one up.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to make the motion here because you never know what.
Yeah, she was over there.
What part will get cut out and somebody reuse?
Yeah. Austin he races a 2003 Chevy Cavalier front wheel drive. That's awesome, man. Hope you're having fun. Keep us updated. Call us next week or after your next race. Tell us how you did.
Yeah, eventually we're going to get where we can send people links and they can come on with us.
Yeah, we're that's in the works.
We can do that. We just haven't had the nerve to
we gotta test it.
Do it.
We gotta test it. You know, you show up, somebody's sitting there with just a shirt on, they stand up and get something, no pants on, Winnie the Pooh in it. Like, fucking hell, dude. That's what I would be worried about.
Right, yeah. Especially our friends.
My friends would sabotage me in a
Hot Carl.
Carl, yeah.
I could see him.
I seen him do that to Dad's deer camera. We were driving through the woods. One time when he was down, we were driving through the woods. We were like, yeah, that's Dad's deer camera. He goes, stop the truck. He gets out and just pulls his pants all the way down. Pants and all the way down to his ankles, and then lifts his shirt up. Stands like this for the camera long enough for it to get a good picture. Dad's like, oh yeah, I didn't get that picture. I'm still calling it bullshit. He was there for like 2 minutes, it felt like.
Yeah.
God dang, dude. Yeah, please stop. Let's see.
I'll join. Just tell me how PC I have to be.
PC?
Politically correct.
Oh, I thought you meant like a computer.
Computer. No,
yeah.
I think it's politically.
You want to be AI? I don't understand. Yeah, we want to get some more people on here and do stuff, even if it's not for like the whole time, maybe just like a 10-minute, hey, you're on here, let's talk about this for a minute and get the fuck off here. But we're trying to figure that out. There's a lot of this that's it's Lee figuring it out. And then the ambulance is coming by. That was loud.
I'm just glad it's not for me.
Oh, are they turning around? But yeah, we're trying to get it all figured out still after 3 or 4 months of doing this. But each time I feel like we're trying something new.
Yeah.
This is the second second program that you've gotten for this.
Yeah, and it's much the same as the first, but it was a little cheaper. And like we said, we're not making any money on this yet. So
we also have race cars, so it's everything has to be cheap. So except for the race car parts, we got to spend money on that.
Trying to work through that. Sponsors help out a bunch, but we still are basically a nonprofit organization within this.
Yeah, nothing's been profit so far. No, for sure.
We're not taking
for sure across the board. Infield tractor hire. Nothing's been. I sold shirts at the last race we were at, the solo, and I immediately spent all that money. None of it was to buy more merch to restock. I didn't have a choice. It was just the way it is, you know. But I'm not good with money, mostly.
I mean,
I'm real broke. Let's go to the beach for 4 days, you know.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. I did get free crawfish twice,
and I've not made. Yeah, obviously there's people that make way more money, but when I was shoeing horses for a living, made a pretty damn good living. And
what made you stop doing that? Less horses, more cars.
No, I just basically I basically figured, because I spent all my money on booze mostly and gambling and stuff like that, and I just got. That's a rough job.
Yeah.
And it's a really rough job to do hungover, day in and day out. And
a lot of horsing around.
Yeah. It just got, and what's crazy is like, I would shoe a lot of horses in a day compared to guys that were, they'd be like, oh, 4 horses a day is my max. And I'm like, I'll do 11. Like, and I would just be like where I couldn't move, and I'd take a few pain pills and drink a little whiskey, and then one drink turned into another.
That's why they're still shooting the horses.
Right? Yeah, they're still going. I'm one drink turned into another, and next thing I'm rolling dice for $100 a throw, and it was quite a life to live for a while. But I think now I'm like I could go back to that and probably do okay as long as I didn't fall into them old habits. You keep, but
state of Texas won't let you fall into too many habits.
No, they won't right now. That's for sure. So, and like you talking back then, the money is comes in. I had big accounts that I would bill. They got a monthly bill or whatever. And so $5,000 would come in, go shopping, get everything caught up, all the bills caught up, and then just go drinking and have a great time.
Go racing.
Yeah. I was looking with that other video because I used to back then. I hauled my race car to the track with the step van that I used to shoe horses out of, which was great in some ways because I did a lot of like jumping horses and stuff like that so I had like a welder in there, a drill press, all the stuff to do it.
Rigged up.
Yeah. It was a great to have at the racetrack. We're having a big pool tournament in Jewett, Texas next weekend at the VFW Hall.
I'm retired. I'm a retired pool player.
Right? Yeah, you are.
That's a pretty good drive for you though. Down there, for both of us. We just went through there. I guess I was went through there yesterday.
Yeah, I don't play quite enough pool to be driving that far
to Jewett
for a big tournament. There was a time when I did, and but there again, we were talking about that last night or night before or something.
Yeah,
like I won some pretty good pool tournaments, but I was playing pool 7 days a week to stay sharp at it, and I was drinking then. That was before I got in trouble, and it really didn't like balanced out to still not pay for itself. It was still a nonprofit deal.
Just because of the beer.
Just because of the beer.
You gotta have the beer to really hone it in.
Yeah, exactly. It's I call it Amon oil.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
well, we're at about an hour. We'll start wrapping this thing up. Make sure you go to DragonSlayerIndustries.com.
DragonSlayerInd.com.
IND. And follow him on TikTok. YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, watching this on YouTube on his YouTube. Facebook. I tagged the lighter side.
The lighter side's the race page. I have a Dragon Slayer Industries page. It's business. I don't post. You can tell how my business is going by when it gets slow. Yeah. I start posting a lot of stuff trying to drum up business on there. Yeah. When things are good, like it's crickets over on that side.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how it goes sometimes.
Right.
But yeah. So make sure you follow Dragon Slayer Industries everywhere.
We're going to have links on Facebook below, and I'm sure he'll do it on his other, but we'll have links for merch for Australia and whatever.
Merch Australia. I got a new shirt. I actually got a notification I looked just a minute ago from my Indian fella that does my shirt designs. And then, but I also have another new shirt up on the American page. And that link is at the top of my Facebook page. And I think everything else it is too. So Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. But if you, it says, I'm here to, what does it say? I'm just here to hold the flashlight, drink beer,
and hold the flashlight.
And I got those in a high vis orange and a navy blue. So a lot of people was asking about orange shirts, so I thought that'd be a good one. They look pretty good. It's got the little guy with the flashlight drinking a beer. So good shirt for a crew guy or somebody that doesn't put wheel covers on. The crew guy.
I'll have some shirts coming soon.
Hell yeah.
So
And
updated version.
updated.
It's got a picture of the car with the wing and without. Looks like two different cars, but it's not.
Yeah, it's the same car.
It's
Multitasking.
yeah.
Hell
So,
so
we're gonna do that. And yeah, just follow us all. Follow Jordan Wagley on TikTok,
Yeah.
even though she's not here right now.
she's not here. She's not even in a bikini.
Right.
She brought one beer, but we had to cut her pay.
That's exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I said there was going to be a big announcement. It's April Fool's, so that's the announcement. So thank y'all for being on here, and we're going to get off here, and we'll see y'all next week, next Tuesday.
Thank y'all.
Or Wednesday if you're in Australia, I guess. Yeah.